This is the Shotgun City Sheriff, the law himself, Clayton Clark.
This is the young Titan, Aaron Atlas.
Hey, this is Matt Brannigan.
This is the war-bound hellhound, Bo Sword.
This is your favorite drunken pro wrestler, a.k.a. the Bud Light Brawler, Dalton Davis.
This is Lizzie Six.
This is Jake Something.
And this is the jaw-jacking, back-cracking, God-created all men equal, and then he made me the sequel, Rohit Raju, and you are listening to the Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast, hell yeah.
The Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast? Yeah, that's right, I stuttered. Shut up.
You ever just get the random urge that you want to go into a gas station and you just got a weird hankering for something that you've not had in a very long time?
All the time.
Because that happened to me today.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm driving and I'm thinking, man, I have not had Reese's Pieces in a long time. And I'm going to tell you, I went into the gas station, I got some Reese's Pieces, and they were immaculate. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spot Show Podcast, a professional wrestling podcast not about professional wrestling. I, of course, am one of your hosts, the Dr. Seuss of the commentary booth, Dickie Wabash, joined, as always, by the one-legged wonder, Mr. Michael Madrox.
Dicky. When's the last time you had anything Reese's?
Dicky, can't you see? All the time, because I'm a big peanut butter fan. We've
Me
talked
too.
about, and I get specifically the Reese's peanut butter. The jar
Yeah.
of it. Yeah, that's my brand of peanut butter.
It hits different.
It does. But no, like if I'm going to get a candy bar, because as we've established, we've talked about it plenty of times, I'm a man that counts his calories. I'm a man that likes to be a little bit fit, to not go too crazy with his calorie count. You know what I mean? So if I'm getting a candy bar, usually it's going to be some form of a Reese's. I'm a big fan of the Reese's Sticks.
The shaped Reese's.
The what now? The shaped. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Dude,
Now,
I just got a bag of 250 Reese's pumpkins for $3 thanks to Halloween clearance.
and here's the thing that I think that people really need to truly sit back and think about here. The shapes are different.
Yes.
There is a pumpkin Reese's tastes different than a tree Reese's.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
And it tastes 100 times different from the Easter egg Reese's.
And those are the best one.
The Easter eggs?
The egg Reese's are the best one.
I'm a pumpkin boy myself.
So when you go to the movies, do you get the popcorn and put the Reese's Pieces in the popcorn?
I'm a
Because
bunch of crunch with popcorn guy.
But that's already popcorn.
Bunch of crunch?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Isn't Bunch of Crunch like just caramel corn, essentially?
No, it's like little crunch bars, chocolate and rice flakes.
Oh, Bunch of Crunch. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm thinking of Crunch-a-Munch. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking of. Yeah. Bunch of Crunch is good too, dude.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite candy bar? Go ahead and call in now. We're talking about ice cream and ice cream candy bars.
Could you imagine if we had a call-in line?
Oh, dude, it would be awful. But the reason I slipped up and said ice cream there is because we're talking about peanut butter, right?
Yeah.
So my cheat day comes around Saturday, okay? And I'm thinking, man, I want some ice cream. Not had some ice cream in a really long time. I limit it to when I have my cheat days. I got some peanut butter half-baked from Ben & Jerry's, and I'm telling you, that's the way to go. So,
Dude.
ice cream was in the front of my brain. That's why I slipped up and said,
Speaking of ice cream,
Yeah.
our local Walmart now carries the weird flavors.
weird. What do you mean?
Like Kraft macaroni and cheese ice cream,
Oh.
dill pickle ice cream, like all the weird shit.
You want to talk about, okay, here is the weirdest thing that has ever happened to me, right?
Yeah.
So back in, when did that video come out? 2018? 2017, 2018, whenever, when I was doing Rocket Crunch Josh, I did a review of branded flavored ice creams, and Baskin Robbins at the time was doing the promotion with that season of Stranger Things where they had Scoops Ahoy flavored ice creams
Yeah.
in Baskin Robbins. So I went and got all the flavors, and I'm a goddamn clairvoyant, and I will explain to you why I'm a clairvoyant. I go in, right, and I get all the 3 flavors of the ice cream, and one of them was upside down pralines and cream. Now, essentially what the concept of it was is they took their standard pralines and cream ice cream, which is apparently one of the more popular flavors from Baskin Robbins, and they turned it upside down by making it chocolate. So I'm sitting back and I'm doing the video, and this video is actually, no, it's not available on YouTube anymore because I took all those videos down. If you have a link, you can still find them. Point being, I get on there and I say, Baskin Robbins, here's what you needed to do to make a bunch of money, and you would have won me over by doing this. The upside down, right? The whole thing, it's the upside down.
Yeah.
Why not make a pineapple upside down cake flavored ice cream?
Which they came out with.
Sure
this
as
time.
shit, I'm at Walmart about a month ago, and they have pineapple upside down goddamn ice cream. So granted, it's not Baskin Robbins, but my point is, Netflix, I want my royalty check because I'm the one that put that idea out into the ether.
Well,
Just saying.
You're never going to see a dime from that.
No, but I predicted it. I'm not saying I'm a clairvoyant.
So you're a Simpsons.
I'm not saying I'm a clairvoyant in the future. Hey,
So
you
you're
know
a
what?
Simpsons.
Before we get too far into this, though, I just want to remind everybody that this episode of the Spot Show podcast is brought to you by Hybrid Championship Wrestling and Yoo-Hoo. You're going to hear a little bit more about them later. That is, of course, unless you head on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios, back as the $5 and above tier. You are going to be getting access to so many great things. You would be having access to Danville Dreamers 2 right now, but someone fucked that up for everyone. Stick around for paid show, guys. It's going to be a fun one.
Bang, bang.
Element OP is up available on the $10 tier. We got some really fun stuff. I don't know if by this point the second episode is up, but the first one definitely is. We've got countless hours of content over there for you. Patreon.com/MadBash Studios. But look, here's the thing. Understand. Sometimes you don't have the extra money. I get it. I get it. We've all had struggles. You can support us completely free by heading to your favorite podcast platform, giving us a 5-star review, hitting us with a share to someone that you think would really enjoy it. And here's the thing. Patreon now has a free subscription option. You can back us on Patreon completely free. You're still going to be getting some really cool behind the scenes photos, all that stuff. Basically, the $2 tier has turned into the free tier. Pretty much what I'm getting at here. MadBashStudios.com, links to everything where you can find us.
Ain't that nice, though?
What's nice?
You can just say MadBashStudios.com instead of all the little social handles at the end.
Here's something really funny, too, that you really need to think about with this. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. If you're listening to this on the day that this comes out to the public, you know, maybe you're sitting back, you just had your meal, maybe you're waiting for your meal to be finished and you're listening to the Spot Show podcast. You know, the last time two best friends had a podcast go live on Thanksgiving, it ultimately ended with Jack Perry getting choked out at Wembley Stadium. So, that, I mean, I'm not saying that we're going to have that, you know. All I'm saying is
I swear to God, if Parker Davis gets choked out by Clayton Clark after this goes live, we got issues.
All I'm saying is that if you've had any terrible run-ins with a doctor in any way, let's not talk about that because we could face a lawsuit, just like old
It's staff, brother.
Just like it's like just take a Z-Pack. You know what I mean? Hey guys, here's where we fucked up a little bit here because we're doing ECW November to Remember 97. This is the first time we're doing ECW, which has me really excited because we love ECW. But here's where we fucked up a little bit, is that this pay-per-view, of course, took place on November 30th of 97. November 30th actually lines up with a podcast day. So if we would have had a little bit of foresight, we could have had this come out on the anniversary of when this pay-per-view aired. But happy Thanksgiving. You get to listen to us talk about November to Remember. This, of course, this is one of the higher rated November to Remembers because...
Was it?
Yeah, I knew that I wanted to do a November to Remember for November. So I did the research. I was like, what's a good November? It's at 97. So I was like, okay, boom, let's go. Monaca, Pennsylvania is where this takes place, in the Golden Dome.
Just right outside of Pittsburgh is what
Just right. They kept saying it. They kept saying it. Hey, so here's a little fun fact about this one too. This was the biggest live attendance at the time for ECW with just over 4,600 people.
Yeah.
4,638. 4,634 to be exact. Were in
They
attendance.
kept saying that too.
Yeah, they kept pushing that home. This had a buy rate of 0.2, which based on my research shows that is like 72,000 buys. I guess. I don't know. I got kind of some conflicting information on exactly what the buy rates were for this pay-per-view. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to answer it, but I'm going to answer it later because I had a realization about this at a certain point in this match. Did you watch this pay-per-view live?
No.
Okay. Do you remember ever watching ECW on pay-per-view, or like what was your first like inclination of like, oh, ECW's actually out there and they're actually doing
98 Anarchy Rules, maybe
98?
Yeah.
Somewhere in 98. Yeah. So I will of course get to my answer because
I knew it was out there because I used to watch the free pre-shows on the pay-per-views, but like I never could spend the $60 on an
because
ECW
this is
pay-per-view.
this is before like the big TNN deal, and this all they had was hardcore TV, and like unless you were like in specific markets, you couldn't even get hardcore TV.
We used to get on the WB at like 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, it was just weird stuff like that where you would like wake up from like spending the night at your aunt's, and you would just hazily look over at the TV and be like, "What's that guy?
Is that
in the
Bam Bam
Zubaz?
Bigelow?
Yeah, is that Bam Bam Bigelow? What's he doing?" Yeah, so this pay-per-view opens up like most ECW pay-per-views open up, or most ECW shows, rather. Just cold open with Joey Styles standing right in the middle of the ring to welcome us to the 5th annual November to Remember. And like I said, this is a record crowd.
Right outside of Pittsburgh.
Right outside of Pittsburgh in Monaca, Pennsylvania. So here's my question. Can you name a better intro song for a wrestling show than this ECW song?
Nope. But with this entrance song, though,
yeah,
we got treated to the 1997 Microsoft Word graphics.
That was always my favorite part of watching these old ECW shows, is that it literally looks like it was Microsoft clip art.
Yeah.
Was put in then like animated keyframe after keyframe with all this. Opening match here.
Bob Artiste, living legend, is a referee, man.
Is he?
No.
Okay. Opening match, we got Tommy Rogers versus Chris Candido.
Tommy Rogers, for a fact, has to be the love child of Tracy Smothers and Marty Jannetty. Am I wrong?
Ooh, now that you think about it. Now that you bring it up to me. Joey Styles says this could be the sleeper match of the night. And not to bury the lead here, but he's partially right.
Yeah.
He's partially right, in my opinion.
Did you notice the ring announcer, though, had like the pencil drawn on mustache?
Yes, he did. I love that ring announcer.
I do too, but like that mustache was giving me weird, creepy uncle vibes.
The way that he says Terry Funk has always been my favorite. Terry Funk! What's this ring announcer's name? I don't even remember.
I don't even remember.
I know he's like legendary, like GOAT status when it comes to, yeah. So, something that popped me really big right when this match starts is that they're circling for the lockup, and Tommy Rogers just bumps for no reason.
He took an arm drag from Invisible Man.
Yeah, he just like does a shoulder roll, and then he's just like, all right, let's get up.
Grizzled, baby.
Very grizzled. They did say, I think that at this point he's like 15 years in or something like
that.
Do you know who Tommy Rogers is? I have no clue.
I told you he's Tracy Smothers and Marty Jannetty's love child.
I'll take that as a fair answer.
Nonetheless, did you notice Chris Candido, speaking about grizzled?
Yeah.
Drop steps right off the bat.
Drop stepping, brother. He's been studying them Harker Dirge matches, been studying them Dalton Davis matches. I love the intro of this match because they just keep trading headlock takeovers.
Yeah.
That's all they keep doing. Like, boom, headlock takeover, head scissors. Boom, headlock takeover, head scissors. Boom, headlock takeover, head scissors. They do it like 5 or 6 times.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And it's just really dope as fuck that,
you know when Candido's out there, you're going to see wrestling.
Yes,
but
Candido.
I've never seen this Tommy Rogers guy ever
Never heard
before,
of him.
but like, dude, he held his own out there with Candido.
Yeah, he really did. And I mean, even though Tommy Rogers was clearly the vet in this match, I mean, Candido didn't really, he proved that he could hang.
Did you notice that Joey Styles' like whole match opening sequence was just screaming the fucking moves?
That's all. Yeah, that's really all Joey Styles does. Like Joey Styles is a good ring announcer or a good commentator rather, but he I don't know. I've never been one for the.
But like when they were chaining off, head scissors, headlock, head scissors, headlock.
Yeah, now that was good. But I've personally have never been one for the one man booth.
No,
never liked it,
dude. It's so hard with 3 men. Like, could you imagine doing it all by yourself?
Yeah,
that would be horrible.
Yeah, it would. Just going back and forth. The crowd starts chanting "boring," and
yeah.
I'm just thinking, are you high? Probably.
Because they're a bloodthirsty crowd at this point.
But I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm loving this match.
Like, Tommy's out there showing us why his older brother Bob Holly's a stock car driver at this point.
Absolutely. Candido goes up top, gets crotched. Joey Styles says that might hurt his sunny disposition. Oh man, Tommy Rogers suplexes Chris Candido off the apron
to the floor,
and then the crowd fucking switches.
Yes,
this is
do.
like 5 minutes into the match, and they start chanting ECW.
Let that sink in. A suplex to the floor 5 minutes into the match.
It was roughly 5 minutes. I think we're probably wrong on that one, but we're close. Maybe it was less than 10.
Yeah. Did you notice that Chris Candido is in fact our Oliver Kane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or no. Oliver Kane is our Chris Candido.
Yeah,
is what you mean. Yeah, I'm.
It's the same thing.
Picking up what you're laying down.
Different perspective.
Oh, 100%. So
at this point, the ref's fucking blown.
Yeah. Well, all those headlock takeovers.
Yeah.
Like, they essentially did a fish out of water spot with fucking headlock takeovers.
Yeah.
It's real bad. I mean, there was no pins involved or anything, but you know, someone gets a sign taken away. In the crowd, and I could not read what the sign said, but they try to distract you from it by just zooming in on a rest hold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Joey Styles, even though I just kind of buried him for a little bit and talked about like how, and not that I don't think he's good, he's great, but I just don't like one man commentary. From here on out, I am making a proclamation that anytime Dickie Wabash calls a Hurricane Rana, he is going to be calling it a Hurricane Rana, because that's how Joey Styles calls it, brother, and he's one of the best.
You gotta act like you've been to Mexico when in fact you haven't.
Hurricane Rana!
Dude, the Red Rooster actually kept up during this match, though.
He did.
Like, even to the point where the fans were chanting woo in the corner as Candido was chopping the shit out of Terry Taylor.
Yeah, and then they each like started trading Fargo struts.
With a Fargo, fuck you. That was my favorite one. Yeah.
Tommy Rogers does the woo chop. And, well, first of all, Candido does the first chop and then like reacts like he's mad that the crowd went woo. And he's like, whoa. And then they counter it. And then Rogers, woo. And then he starts doing the Fargo strut right into an up yours. And it was fucking awesome. Solid opener. Really solid opener. But then something becomes very clear to me, and it really makes sense to me why they were working the way that they did. This turns into a tag match.
You skip so much, man.
But there's a lot. I mean, I know I did, but I mean, we can't spend the whole time talking about the opening match.
You forgot Mastermind Bobby Rogers' big suplex on Chris Candido?
Mastermind, yeah, he did do that, yeah.
When fucking Dito put Terry Taylor up on the top rope and went to hit him, and he just fell off from the fucking apron to the floor.
Yeah.
That was a great moment.
It was a great
how could you
moment.
not put that down, man?
Well, I'll tell you how I forgot about it, because all of a sudden, Lance Storm runs in.
Lance Storm's rat tail runs in.
That's might be the best era of Lance Storm.
Oh, yeah, dude.
The rat tail Lance
Storm.
Then Jerry Lynn runs in. And then they all just start running spots. They all just start diving out of the ring onto each other.
Yeah.
They each, like, one person dives, and then another person dives, and then another person dives, and then it's just like, and then referee John Finnegan pulls a Terry Hopper and shows that he's in charge and makes this a tag team match.
Yeah.
Not much to say about the tag match, really. Like I said, it kind of makes sense why they were working the way that they did, because they knew that
it was going to be a cluster.
They knew that they knew that it was going to turn into a tag match, so they were pulling double duty, brother.
Speaking of pulling, Candido almost got his pants pulled off.
Yeah, I put that down too. Rogers almost pulls out Chris Candido's dick with an O'Connor roll. Candido goes flying on the outside and takes out a camera woman.
I thought the blonde bombshell was going to be the end of the match, right?
Yeah,
there.
so the blonde
but then
bombshell.
Magnum TA fucking runs in and makes the save.
Yeah. The blonde bombshell, which is named after his gorgeous wife, Sunny. Meanwhile, she's probably busy sucking off Shawn Michaels right now as he's hitting that move. Yeah, there's definitely some sunny days. Yeah, Candido goes on the outside, takes out a camera woman. They start chanting, "She's hardcore." In the ring, Tommy Rogers hits an unprettier, which is called the Tamikaze.
Yep.
Which I'm going to politic for Christian Rose to start calling a move the Tamikaze. Candido beats Rogers with a Northern Light suplex.
The Rat Tail win.
That's the finish. With friends like Candido, who needs enemas? That was a line that Joey Styles dropped, and I was actually
that was a great line.
Really big fan of that. Then we start going into some random highlights because that's just the structure of ECW. It feels like most of ECW is just
highlight reel.
Highlight reels is really what they do. Like there was one time I was over at Travis Weir's house and we watched a random episode of Hardcore TV. I don't even remember what year it was. And most of it was just highlight videos.
Yeah, with Joey Styles commentating over the highlight videos.
Yes. Here we go. Justin Credible versus Mikey Whipwreck. Match number 2. Justin comes to the ring with Jason.
Who the hell is Jason? I never figured that out. Like, is he the local drug dealer that just got stuck around? Like,
I have no idea. I didn't write it down in my notes. I forgot to, but these two are like both 28 years old during this match or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I read something like that. It's just weird to be like, these two are like younger than we are now doing this match. There's an Aldo Montoya sign in the crowd.
There's an Aldo Montoya chant from the crowd.
Aldo chant. It's really good hot start from this match.
Dude, Credible bumped his ass off for Mikey Whipwreck.
It's just it was your typical Mikey Whipwreck match though. Like it started off like hot with him hitting his spots, and that's really all Mikey Whipwreck ever really was.
Well, I mean, they didn't teach him any fucking defense through his training.
It's fair,
but like, fair. Dude, like no joke. I think this is my match of the night.
Really? Wow.
Because it was solid all the way through. It didn't have a bunch of fucked up shit going on in it. It was just a good around match.
It was, yeah. It was really, it was pretty clean. One thing that really did bother me though is that this match and the match before it both had Frankensteiners, and that bothered me for no reason. You know what
bothered me?
What?
This match and the match before it all had fucking top rope power bombs.
Yes.
I was like the top rope power bomb, the super kick in 97.
And top rope whippersnappers, brother. The whippersnapper, which is of course the Stone Cold Stunner. Mikey hits, sorry, there's not a lot to talk about with this match. It was just
there was nothing to complain about.
Just a pretty straightforward match. It was good.
It was entertaining. The crowd was into it. Like, there was no downtime.
Yeah, Jason got involved.
Jason was blocking the hard cam half the match.
He was. Good for Jason, you know what I mean? Yeah, Mikey Whipwreck hits the whippersnapper off the top rope, and that's your finish right there. Yeah. I can't believe that Mikey Whipwreck went over in this one, because you always but you got to think about it too. This is 97, and like Credible is still a couple of years away from his big time heel run.
He wasn't even to the Impact Players at this point.
No, not even at all. Yeah.
He just had Jason, the local drug dealer who stuck around.
Al Snow is in the locker room getting head. That's what Joey Styles says.
While fighting with Head, with the BWO dressing around him.
And Spike Dudley, which if you want to hear some good Spike Dudley stories, I suggest you check out Paid Show. Allegedly. Here's what I'm confused about here. Yeah. Why is... Al Snow's wearing a Job Squad shirt, right?
Yeah.
I thought the Job Squad was WWF.
Job Squad started in ECW.
Did it really?
All the Job Squad went to the WWF.
I had no idea.
Too Cold Scorpio, Al Snow, Blue Meanie.
Wow. This is also, this is a famous shot that is in ECW, the rise and fall of ECW, where Al Snow's talking to the Head in the locker room and the Blue Meanie's getting dressed. Like, I remember this scene specifically from the rise and fall of ECW.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. It just sticks out with me.
Because this is like one of the big first, like, psycho-problematic Al Snow promos with Head.
Al Snow was just arguing, saying that Head let it leak out that he was injured, so he couldn't be in the match. He's just yelling about how he's going to be a star one day. If you don't believe him, I suggest that you sign into your Netflix account. Because Al Snow is apparently the star of I've not watched The Wrestlers.
Really?
Have not.
It's a good watch.
Yeah. So then after this, Joey Styles throws to a video about Sandman and Sabu. But then you just cut to the ring and Pitbull number 2 is standing in the ring.
With like a pineapple up his ass. Like what, expecting to be on camera and nothing.
Yeah. Paul E is on commentary for this one.
Yeah.
And Joey Styles calls him Paul E. And then Paul Havens says, "You're watching too much Raw." And then Joey says, "Well, somebody has to. The ratings are in the toilet."
Dude, this whole show, they just fucking dog on the WWF and WCW.
You can read my mind, brother, because that was the point that I was going to bring up here. I personally view it as a sign of weakness when you need to constantly talk down the competition in the way that these guys are doing.
I could see the WWF because this is the time when they have Mr. Monday Night when they were doing the talent trade.
Yes.
But the WCW shit, like...
Mention WWF because it's engrossed in a storyline right now. Like you're literally going to be having WWF involved on your show.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're just bringing a fucking pea shooter against a howitzer tank.
Yes.
Is really all you're doing because like ECW had a really good cult following, but like there was no reality, and I'm gonna probably get hate. It's just the truth. ECW was never going to be the number 3 promotion. It never was. I'm sorry. It just wasn't.
It was the number 3 promotion.
But it was never, it was, but by a huge margin.
Yeah.
Like, TNA was more of a third promotion than ECW was. Bold claim right there.
TNA went around when ECW was around.
You know what I mean. After the fact.
Yeah.
Mr. Literal.
They got fucking TV deals and shit.
So here comes Taz. Or as Paul E. calls him, the most miserable SOB in professional wrestling. Now tell me this.
Yes.
Look at me with a straight face and tell me right now that this Taz versus Brock Lesnar now would not be a fucking barn burner.
It would.
Dude, they'd tear the roof off.
Yeah.
They'd tear the roof off. And in that time that it took you to answer that question, this match is already over.
Absolutely it is, dude. Like, my only note is Taz over quick. Like, match, sign of the night. It's in this match.
Oh, I missed it.
World's toughest midget.
Oh, I did see that, actually. That's a good point.
Because everything else was 316s and 427s and nothing original.
No, nothing at all. Taz taps him out with the Kata Hajime in like less than 2 minutes.
I spent most of this match laughing because the referee looked like, Tom White with black dyed hair.
That's a deep cut right there, brother. No one knows who that is. Shout out to Tomsky.
We do.
So then Taz gets on the mic and just straight up tells the guy on the outside, "I think you're on steroids." Like without like saying it directly.
Why was Fat Maven working security?
I don't know.
But he got beat up.
But do you want to hear probably the coldest insult that has ever been uttered in a professional wrestling ring for a promo?
What's that?
I'll show you the difference between being cum drunk and punch drunk.
Yes.
Hoo boy.
This whole promo was just saying, "Hey, you're on steroids. You suck Vince's cock."
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Pretty much. Because this is around the time of the steroid trial, was it not? Or was that
no,
that was 96. But I mean, the steroid stuff was still very much in the ether of wrestling. Taz hands the mic to the security guard. Or no, he hands off the microphone and then slaps the security guard.
Which looked like a 320-pound Maven.
Which the reason that he probably handed it off is because that was probably the only fucking mic they had. And he didn't want to blow the budget on the spot. Because ECW, very low budget at this time, my guys. If you did not realize that.
This next match had all the potential in the world.
Well, before we get into the next match, we see a little Bam Bam Bigelow highlight video. And it actually does a really good job of making Bam Bam look like a monster. Yeah. Like, it starts off with him throwing Spike Dudley into the crowd. Then when they surfed him around which was one of the most memorable ECW moments I've ever seen.
That's one of the most iconic moments in all of professional wrestling.
Yeah. It really is. And they tried to recreate it in TNA with,
tried to
I think,
recreate-
Abyss threw him into the ring.
They try to
Or threw him
recreate
into the
everything in TNA.
crowd. A way to cross the line. Then we just, like you said, this match had a lot of potential because it starts off, we just cut and we're right in the middle of a Tracy Smothers promo.
Yeah.
Just right in the middle of a Tracy Smothers
I'm like,
promo.
yes, FBI time. Then we get the Dudleys. I'm like, yes, the Dudley boys.
What a lovely night for an evening.
Dude, professional wrestling needs more 15-minute fucking manager
They
introductions.
just need more Joel Gertner.
Yes.
I shit you guys not. If you have not watched this pay-per-view, Joel Gertner takes no less than 10 fucking minutes to introduce the Dudleys. Joel, how's it go? Joel, I'm gonna be Hurtner Gertner. Is that
Yeah.
how it goes?
One of them.
Yeah, the
Dude, he was
quintessential
fucking on
stud
one.
muffin. The worst, like, he did one at Hardcore Homecoming with about Lady Gaga, and I don't remember what it was, but it was a rough one. It was like really just fucking, I think it was like Lady Gaga is celibate. What an absolute disgrace. If she won't let me, and then I'm gonna well, then I'll just poke her face. Gertner. Yeah, but Joel Gertner literally does say, he starts off the introductions by saying, what a lovely night for an evening. It's like, what are you talking about? During this 10-minute introduction, Tracy Smothers is just in the corner shadow boxing.
Yes.
Just like shadow boxing. Because, you know, a thug. He's a thug. They bleep out something during Devon's intro. Did you notice that? Or did they bleep it out, or did something like...
I think it was a hard R.
Do you think so?
I think so, because this was back when the Dudleys were throwing that around like crazy.
Yeah, they were. Then all of a sudden, Balls, Mahoney, and Axel Rotten come in and just start dishing out CTE.
Yeah. Just like a hot start, not even announced to the ring or nothing. Just, we're going to come out here and just fuck everyone up.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, this is a 4-way match, but the 4th team isn't even out here yet. It's just like, they just come in and they're just like beating each other up. Bubba hits a fucking Samoa drop, looks dead in the hard cam, and goes, fuck you! It's a Samoa drop.
Dude, Balls Mahoney pre-mullet. Tell me he cannot pass his balls fully.
I've always thought that. I've always thought that Balls Mahoney did look like Mick Foley in some certain way. Like Mick Foley on substances, allegedly. Have you ever seen the shoot interview that is Balls Mahoney and New Jack just yelling at each other for an hour?
Yes.
It's the greatest damn thing in the world. Blake Reed and I used to quote it all the fucking time. He goes, he literally says, this is New Jack. He goes, if your dick is long enough, stick it around your ass, fuck yourself, because you're talking shit. It's like that. Like, listen, I don't know where you can find the actual video, but the trailer for it is on YouTube. Just type in Balls Mahoney New Jack, and
I'm pretty sure it's on High Spots.
Probably. Yeah, probably. So I've been kind of ignoring it here for a little bit, but we do have Jason V notes for this
man.
show. Yeah, we do. And Jason V wants to include that this match is sponsored, in fact, by CTE.
Right on topic there, Brad.
Yep. So then...
Did you notice the Dudleys set Balls up on the top rope in the same hard cam lower left corner?
Yep.
And barely touched him, and he fucking fell to the outside on his head, too. Like, that turnbuckle is cursed for this whole show.
It is, because that's the turnbuckle that Candido fell off of and then landed on top of the security guard, or the camera
one. The same one that Beautiful Bobby Eaton in the same match fell off of.
Yes. This match is a mess, and New Jack ain't even in the ring yet.
Dude, New Jack, before he gets in the ring,
yeah,
you can count the minutes it takes Bubba Ray Dudley to set Balls up in the fucking turnbuckle to give him a superplex off the top rope. It took 3 minutes exactly for this shit to go on.
Because they're just milking, waiting for New Jack and
I'm
Cronus
just like,
to come out.
Are they gonna go? Are they gonna go? Like the whole time I was more enthralled with that than watching the FBI beat on D-Von.
Yeah. And then it happens, guys. The Gangstanatas make their way to the ring, New Jack and Cronus, and this match becomes officially unfucking watchable. It's my -7 of the night.
Yeah.
For the stretch that the Gangstanatas are in the ring. Then after that, it's fucking awesome.
It's just the shitty dubbed over music, man.
That's the only problem. And like, I understand they're obviously not going to pay the money to get Natural Born Killers to play. They're just not.
But at the same time, like, instead of changing the music out, just erase that audio.
But that's the thing, is that how was it edited? Like, would you be able to just erase the audio?
Well,
like,
they did to get Natural Born Killers out.
That's true. That's a good point. I don't know, man. ECW is fun to go back and rewatch, but the problem is network dubs ruin it.
Yeah.
Because you can't, obviously you don't have Sandman coming out to Enter Sandman. You don't have RVD coming out to Walk. Dreamer coming out to Man in a Box. Fucking New Jack being able to come out to Natural Born Killers. Like, it just,
FBI coming out to Staying Alive.
yes, exactly. Speaking of the FBI, Tommy Rich has the best sell of this entire fucking show.
With a guitar shot.
New Jack comes off the top rope with a guitar shot. And Tommy Rich just stands there for a solid fucking minute, just kind of wobbling back and forth before he fucking bumps. And then when he comes back, he's just gushing blood. Like, Tommy Rich isn't even in this match. He's the manager for the FBI, and he gigged. Like, why?
Speaking of FBI, though, did you catch Tracy Smothers after he got that crutch broken over his back by New Jack?
Brother, I caught everything that Tracy was doing in this fucking
Turns
match.
around and goes, God damn it, Jack!
Yes! I'm telling you, man, that is one thing that I really do regret. I wish I had fucking Tracy Smothers stories. I never got to meet him, and that really fucking upsets me.
Oh, man. Living fucking legend.
Well, he's not living anymore.
Yeah.
But during his time. Yeah.
The Bubba doing the dive spot.
Yeah, Bubba did do
with
it.
Joey Styles quoting fucking Mallrats, fly, fat bastard, fly.
Yeah. First elimination is the Gangstanatas, and thank fucking God, because now I can enjoy this match.
Before we get off the Gangstanators,
I will talk about the Gangstanatas all fucking podcast.
Cronus.
Cronus is good.
Cronus. This whole match did not touch a fucking opponent. He
No.
touched the managers of the FBI and the Dudleys and just got his shit in on them.
Yes, he did.
Like, why?
Because they just did not give a fuck. So after the Gangstanatas are eliminated, Bubba Ray picks up Guido and throws him into the corner, the most unsafe I have ever seen a man go into a fucking corner.
That was falling CTE.
Like, he literally just throws him. He twists in the air. He collides with the fucking top turnbuckle and snaps his goddamn neck. And I thought that he was dead.
Yeah.
There's a really cool spot here.
The powder spot.
So Bubba Ray gets powder thrown in his eyes, and then because they're going for the 3D, and Bubba rather gets powder thrown in his eyes, and he gets blinded. Meanwhile, Balls counters off of Devon, and then sends Devon up for the 3D, and Bubba catches Devon for the 3D because he's blind. That's fucking smart.
Yeah, psychology.
I actually really like that. And then now the Dudleys are eliminated. Never thought that I would say this. Axl Rotten hits a Bloody Sunday.
Yeah.
And Joey Styles says, what the hell was that? We are at this point 10 years removed from Prince Devitt debuting and using the Bloody Sunday.
That was Goldust's old finisher, brother.
That was Goldust. Yeah, Goldust did do that. Yeah, I always associate it with Balor.
Yeah,
because when he was Prince. I mean, now it's the 1916, but he used to call it Bloody Sunday.
Yeah,
and boy, did he made it look vicious.
Did you see Hacksaw Jim Duggan Balls Drop Tracy Smothers on his head.
I did. There's a ref bump.
Yep.
And the ref just stops counting in the middle of his count to check on the bumped ref.
Yeah.
And then right after he's done checking on them, he just kicks Balls Mahoney in the nuts.
Kicks balls in the balls.
Kicks balls in the balls. And the FBI goes over.
With their shitty dubbed music.
What the fuck? Like, what's going on with this referee? Like, because he pulls this shit again later.
Yeah.
And I wish that we knew the context, because it's like, why is he going rogue?
I had a little idea, because this ref looks awfully familiar as a former ECW superstar.
Okay.
Chris Chetty.
Is it Chris Chetty?
I don't know, but doesn't he look like Chris Chetty?
He does look like Chris Chetty. Wow.
I noticed that during the second spot. I was like, wait a minute, is this Chris Chetty?
Chris Reffy.
Chris Reffy.
Yeah, so yeah, the FBI retained their tag titles.
Tommy Dreamer promo.
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer's here. He says doctors have told him not to compete. Then we get a highlight video.
Dude, Tommy Dreamer leather jacket, Raven style, goes hard.
Yes.
That was the best form of Tommy Dreamer ever.
Yeah. We get a highlight video set to royalty-free Man in the Box.
Dude, that porn elevator cover, A Man in the Box, actually slaps hard.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It does. By the way, this is a flag match. This is Rob Van Dam versus Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
The winner of the match gets to hang their flag high. RVD is fighting for WWF, and Tommy Dreamer is fighting for ECW, of course. But before we get into that match, let's hear a little word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Yoo-Hoo, a product of Keurig Dr. Pepper. So here's what I want you to picture right now, right? You're on a long road trip. You're driving along and you're thinking, man, I could really go for a nice, sweet, refreshing drink. You pull into a gas station and the first thing you see is Yoo-Hoo. And I got to tell you, grabbing that Yoo-Hoo, that's going to be the right decision every single time. Yoo-Hoo is available in a variety of flavors. Vanilla, strawberry, but here at MadBash, our personal favorite is chocolate. I'm going to tell you about Yoo-Hoo a little bit more, right? We absolutely love this stuff here at MadBash. We cannot get enough of it. And you know what? We're going to sweeten the pot a little bit here thanks to Yoo-Hoo. If you see us at a wrestling show and you buy a MadBash wrestling sticker, you are entitled to one free bottle of Yoo-Hoo on MadBash Studios. Limit one per customer while supplies last. Now, come on, guys. You can't beat that deal with a stick. Again, MadBash would like to thank Yoo-Hoo so much for sponsoring this episode. This episode of the Spot Show podcast is also brought to you by Hybrid Championship Wrestling, or HCW, if that's what you prefer to call them. Listen, Hybrid is an independent professional wrestling company based out of Terre Haute, Indiana. They have talent from all over the United States and are putting on star-studded shows all year long. But here's the thing about Hybrid. They are always looking for young new prospects and looking for new talent, sponsors, and business partners so that they can continue to bring you some of the best independent wrestling in the Midwest. If you want to go ahead, feel free to reach out to them on Facebook, Hybrid Championship Wrestling, on Twitter at HCW_live, or on Instagram at HCW Midwest. Thank you so much to Hybrid Championship Wrestling for sponsoring the Spot Show podcast. You know what movie I watched the other day and I forgot like really how good it is?
What's that?
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
How could you forget how good of the movie that is?
I just haven't seen it in so long. It's a good movie. Hey, we're back. So anyway, yeah, this is a flag match. This is Rob Van Dam versus Tommy Dreamer.
With Thomas Black as the referee again?
Yeah, it is. Joey Styles makes a comment here that aged like milk. He said, "Good thing I'll never work for WWF." Meanwhile, 10 years later, he would end up calling a WrestleMania. So,
especially with who would sell out and work for the WWF over ECW, and you're like, everyone on this card.
every single person on this card ended up working for the WWF at some point.
Joey Styles did make a good comment during this match.
He usually does.
It's not my Dickie Wabash call of the week.
The
but
Dickie
it's one of
Wabash
them.
ass call of the night.
Yeah, but it's one up there, and which is flight versus fight. I really dug that.
Yeah. That is true. So Dreamer is working this match in a walking boot.
Yeah. While working chain wrestling, which looks so fucking awkward for Dreamer to be doing.
I know. Like, this is really, like, on paper, this is like, yeah, this is definitely a clash in styles. Because you got Dreamer, who's, for all intents and purposes, your brawler and your, hardcore, bloody heart and soul of ECW. And then you got High Flyer Van Dam.
We also have Chumley and Jimmy Hart sitting next to each other in attendance.
Chumley and Jimmy. Yeah, Chumley was in the crowd for the show. There's a lot of guardrail spots.
Yeah, with the plastic chair shot.
A lot of them. Oh, and it actually cuts Van Dam's eye.
Yeah.
Because Dreamer just creams him with a fucking plastic chair, and it fucking slices Van Dam's eye. So during this match...
The ref is now wearing fucking wrestling training shoes.
Well, that I did not notice, but I'll tell you one thing I did notice is that a riot damn near fucking breaks out in this arena.
Oh, yeah?
Because sit the fuck down chants start, and then people start chanting, fuck the cheap seats. So it was sit the fuck down, fuck the cheap seats, sit the fuck down, fuck the cheap seats. And that is a trend. The sit the fuck down chant would continue for the rest of the evening.
That's one way to turn a city against each other.
Every single match.
Dude, Van Damme in his prime, though, so fucking crisp. Like, what the...
unfuckwithable.
Like, what fucking batch of weed did he smoke to make himself deteriorate that quick?
I don't know what strand he was on, but brother, yeah, dude, it was great.
Did you notice the ninth row up in the cheap seats? There's one man sitting in a white shirt. To the left of that man, a row above him, was another person in an all-white shirt. To the left of that person, one row above them, was another person in an all-white shirt. There is a whole fucking diagonal line of 7 people deep.
Was there
wearing
really?
all-white shirts.
I just noticed a lot of yellow shirts.
It looked like a fucking check mark. I was like,
really?
what the fuck?
That is so funny. By the way, I'm consulting Jason V's notes here, and I was completely wrong. It was not Credible and Mikey Whipwreck that were the same age. It's Van Dam and Dreamer. They're both 26 in this match. Yeah, Dreamer and Van Dam are both 26 in this fucking match.
The fuck were we doing with our lives at 26?
What was I doing? Had I left the business? Oh yeah, I'd left the business by 26. I don't remember. 26, I don't know, man. That's so long ago. But so, you always hear the stories about how raucous the ECW crowd is, and boy, they are right, because they're like just on this
one match
leading up. Yeah, in this match, there's a RVD Swallows chant. There's of course the sit the fuck down chants. They're just going
break his
nuts.
Fucking neck chant.
Yes, yeah, they are fucking vicious.
All right, dude. This is the match I fucking noticed it. The referee.
What about it?
Put red hair on him.
Is it Cal Reftis?
I'm almost 89% sure that's fucking Cal Repkus.
Cal Reftis is the man. I love him. We need to have more of him. Tommy Dreamer does a tribute to Dalton Davis, and he does the Tree of Woe dropkick spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, there's something I noticed during this match, and are there mics under the ring?
There has to be.
Because during this match, they are so apparent. Like, I don't know if something got fucked up and a wire got fucked up, but they sound bad.
Yeah.
They're like, boom. Like, they're fucking rough. So there was a really cool sequence that I liked. Really, really cool here is that Dreamer whips Van Dam into the corner. Van Dam does the splits on the top rope, and then Dreamer just fucking kicks him in the dick and then spikes
him with a DDT.
Spike DDT, brother.
That was my sequence of the night, actually.
Yeah, that was really cool. Fonzie gets involved because of course he does. Hits the referee with a street sign. Then another referee comes in, stops the pin, punches the referee. And this is just the best fucking referee spot that I have ever seen in my entire goddamn life. They all just keep fucking trading dick shots. And fucking Beulah gets involved. And it's fucking insane, dude. Like, everyone, like, this fucking referee that had trouble that caused all the trouble in the tag match, like, comes out, kicks someone in the dick, and then just starts doing the fucking full-blooded Italian chin pose with his phone. He's just like doing it to the crowd, and then and Beulah gets involved and kicks him in the dick, and then
he
Fonzie
gets double DDT'd.
Yes, and then he gets double DDT'd by the other referees, John Finnegan, and then whoever the other referee was.
This is when it made me think it was Chris Chetty.
It could be. It could be, because only Chris Chetty could jump that much.
But after this,
bump
Dickie,
that much.
You want
rather.
to talk about highlight reels, the most iconic pile driver sell in all of ECW
The way
history
that Dreamer
happened.
sells that Rob Van Dam sells that goddamn pile driver, he went up 5 feet in the air. Like, dude, he knew how to sell a goddamn pile driver, and it was fucking awesome.
Yep.
Like, it was so good, and you think that's it. You think it's the finish. And then all of a sudden, we get a run-in from someone that I never would have thought that I would be saying this. Doug Furnace makes a run-in, and so does his tag team partner. I forgot his first name, LaFon. Phil LaFon. Thank you. Doug Furnace and Phil LaFon run in.
Dude.
Boy.
WWF. Yeah, we'll send talent over your way for you to use.
You get the Quebecers or what? No, they're not the Quebecers, but of all people, it's like why? Like why? Like why is that who we tried to run in here?
But that's not enough though. Send Stevie Richards.
Yeah, and then Stevie comes in and throws a Stevie kick.
Yeah, sir.
So here's another Jason V note. Truth be told, I spent a good little bit of time of this match looking at Beulah McGillicuddy.
Facts, dude.
Or no, sorry, looking up Beulah McGillicuddy. Sure was something. Because there is a video of Beulah that got her hired.
Philip and LaFons ain't enough to take somebody out. Send in Stevie Richards. That's still not enough. Here comes Sabu. And I love how they called for Sabu.
But before they get to Sabu, here's what happens. Fucking Doug Furnace counts the pinfall for whatever reason. And then RVD wins, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Bill Alfonso holds up a blurred out flag. And then they set up a table and they lay Dreamer on the table and then drape the blur on top of Dreamer. And then they summon Sabu by just pointing up at the sky.
Yeah, they all did.
Yeah. And then
it's like the bat signal.
And then
let's try it. Let's try it right now. If Sabu walks to this fucking doorway.
I'm pointing up at the sky right now.
Drop my phone. Was it worth it? No Sabu.
No, it wasn't. Sabu, your mama threw a coffee table. So I just want to say this about Bill Alfonso is he put a lot of fucking faith in that table.
Yeah.
And that table is more stable than my last 2 relationships because God damn it. He gets on that fucking table. Dreamer is laying on the table with the flag over him. And Bill Alfonso just gets up on the table and is standing doing the Sabu pose. And he's doing the Van Dam Sabu pose where one thumb and finger. And
Oh, that's where we messed up. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, that might summon Van Dam as well. Boy, did he, like I said, he put a lot of faith in that fucking table because that table was a Bowen, brother. And so then Sabu just kind of jogs to the ring, gets on the top rope, and you think that he's going to jump off onto Tommy Dreamer, who is
Hell
on
no.
the table. He just fucking jumps on top of Beulah with nothing, just kind of throws himself at her.
He Sabu'd himself.
He Sabu'd himself. And then they just start beating up Beulah. And then they just pull Dreamer off the table and take the table down. Because
They're like, we need that for the next match, guys. Don't break it.
Hey, the table budget's already way over budget, guys. We can't break any more tables. Do not break any more tables. So then they just start beating the fuck out of Beulah, and then Dreamer climbs on top of her to protect her in like a 69 position. And then what I'm assuming is Enter Sandman by Metallica starts playing because it's naturally the network dub. And then while they're still just laying the boots to Dreamer, Sandman's just casually making his way to the ring.
Did you notice Stevie Richards was the actual smart one in it? He didn't kick Dreamer one time.
What did he do?
Kick the shit out of Beulah's shins.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not letting you get protection.
So yeah, Sandman just kind of casually strolls to the ring while his friends are getting beat up. And then the camera cuts away and everyone has left except for Van Dam and Sabu. And then now they're just setting up for the next match, which is, of course, a tables and ladders match.
Which chairs are illegal too. So I'm just like, so this was TLC before TLC.
This is TLC before TLC was cool, dude. And I'm going to tell you this right now. All I can think about is how this match is going to be great for all the wrong reasons.
You know what I'm thinking about
And
this
boy,
point?
I was right.
You know what I'm thinking about at this point?
What are you thinking about?
When Sandman's making his way to the ring, lower hard cam side, green blazer button-up shirt. That had to be a 26-year-old Matt Maverick sitting in that front row, just sitting there eye fucking the shit out of Sandman.
Can we book Matt Maverick versus Sandman now?
Yes.
I want it badly. So, as they're setting up for this match, and as Sandman is making his way to the ring, which, by the way, they got like... They basically went and bought the ladder 3-pack from Home Depot.
The three different
sizes. They got 3 different size ladders with 3 different like color coordinated. Like red is the small one. Or no, it was yellow was the small one. A random memory flashed in my brain as I'm seeing this happen.
Yeah.
This was my first ECW pay-per-view.
Was it?
That's why I asked you earlier, did you watch this pay-per-view when it was on? And here's my answer. I think I did.
Were you even alive then?
97.
Yeah, I know.
I was born in 91.
You had to be like 6 at the time?
Literally, if you math, yeah, that's 6. This was my first ECW pay-per-view.
I didn't know you were into wrestling at that young of an age.
Oh, I was always into wrestling. I'd always been into wrestling.
You didn't get hard into it until like you were a little bit older, though.
No, I'd always liked wrestling.
Oh.
Yeah. Because I have a vivid memory of multicolored ladders.
Are you sure you just haven't seen this one match before?
No, I had this pay-per-view.
Oh.
Believe me, and I'll explain why. I remember my dad being like, hey, I'm hearing about this new company called ECW, and allegedly, there was a box in Dickie Wabash's house that was pretty special, if you kind of catch my drift a little bit, and may have made some things happen. And so we turn on that box and ECW is on. And yeah, this was my first ECW pay-per-view. I don't remember anything from watching it, but I remember the ladders and I remember Sandman. So now that I think about it, I think this is why Sandman is legitimately in my top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time, because from an early age, I was watching Sandman matches.
I got to get the elephant out of the room, though.
Go ahead.
since this match holds a memory for you and all that shit. Who had the better outfit here? Sandman?
Oh, Sandman. Don't even bother.
Sandman in his Santa Claus boots.
Yeah, his moon boots.
Or Sabu in the Jiffy Pop popcorn pants.
No, it was Sandman.
Okay.
The answer is always Sandman. Yeah, this match was essentially TLC before there was TLC, so that's pretty cool.
You got to go in this match remembering that in Sabu's autobiography that he said that all his botches were done on purpose to make it look more real. Because he made this fucking match look super fucking real that way.
Look at me with a straight face and tell me this match could not main event night 1 of WrestleMania.
This match could not main event night 1 of WrestleMania.
Here's the thing that I noticed about Sandman during this match. Sandman is the king. Like, he loves to do spots that require so much effort but look terrible.
Yeah.
So early on in the match, this
the
is
biggest effort setups for the minimalist payoff.
He puts so much effort into these spots and they just look shitty. Like, Sandman literally
headbutt Sabu through a table.
He did. Sabu's on the outside, right? And Sandman has the small ladder and he's holding it and he runs and vaults himself over the top rope. And as he's vaulting over the top rope in a dive, throws the ladder at Sabu.
He Sabu'd the ladder.
And it's like, why? Why? Like, you did not need to do that.
With one hand to show you how light that ladder was.
He's holding it. Like, think about how you carry a ladder, right? You come up and you like grab one of the top rungs and push up with your arm and you're like holding it kind of behind you. Well, he just runs and then just hawks it over the top rope and while he's jumping over the top rope. Like, why did he put that much effort into doing that? It's just that, again, Sandman, this entire match does 2 things. Back elbows and
somersaults.
And three things then. Back elbows, somersaults, and spots that require so much effort and just look shitty.
Who do you think's on the most drugs in this match? Because I'm talking like we're not even 2 minutes in yet, and you could obviously tell.
No, Sandman's just fucked up on everything, I think, at this point. They have a table. The only table spots they do in this entire match are either to the outside or bridged from the guardrail to the ring. They don't do any table spots in the ring.
Don't you dare scratch that canvas.
Yeah. Don't you get Yoo-hoo in that ring. Can
we address the Irish whip?
Which one? There's so many. Where he just like casually throws Sandman and then Sandman just front flips into the fucking barricade.
No, the one inside the ring.
Which one? I don't know.
Sabu grabs Sandman, goes to whip him off the ropes, walks him out to the middle, does the follow through. Sandman just starts walking, slides across the table and falls over.
Dude, at another point, they're on the outside, and there's a table bridged between the ring and the barricade, and Sandman lays Sabu on it, and then the table just breaks, and then Sabu just goes, shit, because it was going to be this big spot. So then they reset up for the spot. And Sandman lays Sabu on a table, normally this time, not bridged between the ring and the apron, and then just leg drop off the top rope through the table. There is another sit the fuck down chant.
Yes.
Because people are just sitting. There's another part where I think this might be the Irish whip spot you're talking about, where Sandman just kind of falls into the ropes.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if it was a botch or if that was supposed to happen or whatever.
No, he just took a hard 90-degree turn right before he hit the fucking ropes and was like, there's a table here. I'm going to step over this in the fall.
Sabu does no less than 3 triple jump moonsaults in this.
Oh, my favorite
match.
one's where he hits Sandman in the balls.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God. The best spot of this entire fucking match. Sandman has the teeter-totter, right?
Yeah. The one he took 5 minutes to set up with the crowd moving and everything else.
He has the teeter-totter set up on the top rope. Sabu's on the top. kicks Sandman off. And you can tell what's supposed to happen is Sabu is supposed to jump off the top and slingshot the ladder into Sandman's head, but Sandman clearly forgets the spot. And then just lackadaisically fucking just rolls over the ladder. And then Sabu's just like, oh, okay, what? Then Sandman, this is the point where I realized that he just loves doing these spots that requires so much effort and just look like ass. It's the teeter-totter dive spot where he sets it up on the outside, and then just runs and jumps over the top rope and teeter-totters the ladder.
And it just flips in the air for no payoff whatsoever.
Yes.
Dude, Sandman's up to 7 somersaults at this point.
Oh my God, because he just keeps doing somersaults off the top.
Off the top rope, off ladders, off the apron.
Through tables. How can you not look at Sandman and think that he's the greatest goddamn wrestler of all time?
Dude, Sabu's laying there. Sandman grabs a table. The fucking table legs fall off. He looks at the table and says, fuck this. Grabs the table and delivers a suplex to the table on top of Sabu. He's like, well, the spot can't work right. We're just going to flip the order.
Oh, fuck, dude. Sabu reverses a whip, springs off the top rope, lands on Sandman's shoulders, and I swear to God he was going to throw a poison rana.
No, Sandman reversed it to the electric chair.
He did, and it was fucking awesome. But if Sabu would have thrown a poison rana onto Sandman,
Sandman would have died. He can't do the reverse somersault.
Dude, it would have been the funniest. On Paige Show, I will tell you all a story of the funniest poison rana I've ever seen in my entire life.
This match made me realize, and I had to go back and watch a couple other Sabu matches.
What's that?
Sabu has the worst pinfalls in professional wrestling history.
He does. He does. Oh, no, man. Match of the fucking night.
Are you serious?
Match of the night.
No.
No, you're fucking wrong if you think this is not match of the night.
That's not match of the night. I had to stick with the actual good match.
This was a good match. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so Sabu throws a fireball, but Sandman avoids it. And then Sabu comes off the top rope with an atomic Arabian facebuster with a ladder.
Yeah.
And boy, Joey Styles sure loved to emphasize the fact that it was the atomic Arabian facebuster.
It was a super ladder atomic Arabian facebuster is what Joey kept calling it.
He did. He did. Here is the Dickie Wabash ass call of the night. Joey Styles says, we have not seen the last of Sabu versus Sandman. And I thought to myself, good. That's not even necessarily a call that Dickie Wabash would make.
No, I'm saving my call. My call's already happened, but I want to save it for the end.
Okay, but I'm just saying it because that's the best thing I've heard all night is that we have not seen the last of Sabu versus Sandman.
Because it should pop you.
Because, like, here's the thing, guys. I don't give a fuck if you watch this whole pay-per-view. I don't give a fuck. Go out of your way to watch this match. And then here's what's even more exciting about this. They had a rematch.
Yeah.
And it was the Stairway to Hell match. And it's the one where Sabu, like 5 minutes in, breaks his jaw.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out a way that we can do that on here because I want to review that somehow. Oh, boy.
Now we go into a 15-minute slow-moving replay package.
Yeah, they replayed and highlighted
the entire damn
match that we just fucking saw.
All in slow motion.
Yes.
Which made it look 100 times worse.
It made it look better. Are you kidding me? The match was goated. But we now go on to our main event for the evening.
No, we don't. We go on to a backstage interview with Joey Styles and Taz.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, because Brian put in his notes that Taz had an entire can of chew in his mouth during this interview.
And that Taz gave away the main event before the main event happened.
Yeah, he did.
Next month, Bam Bam Bigelow, me and you for the ECW Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm avoiding it. This main event was so fucking bad.
Can I make a confession?
Go ahead.
I tried to watch this damn main event twice and fell asleep.
You
both
didn't
times.
even watch
I
the
didn't
main
even
event.
fucking finish it.
Dude, it's...
The best thing about this is they're using the old school ECW heavyweight title, which I'm a sucker for.
Yeah, okay, so here's what it is. It's Bam Bam versus Franchise, and they're doing the whole Bizarro World thing where Franchise is, of course, this monster heel.
But he's in his hometown.
But he's in his
outside of his hometown.
Yeah, just outside of his hometown. I really, like, if this is a cop-out, I sincerely do apologize, but I don't know what the fuck to say about this match. I genuinely don't. I would rather watch Halloween Havoc 2000
At least
than watch
we got
this fucking match
At least
again.
we got Storm's Rat Tail made a cameo. before
Yeah, they're going for the sympathetic story because Bam Bam just beats the shit out of Franchise.
The
for
entire match.
The
that I've
entire
seen.
match. And then all it takes is one belly-to-belly through a half table.
Why did they start doing the weird ass fucking camera angles during this match?
I don't know, but they did, and it
You
was
know what
really
I'm talking
off-putting.
about?
No,
Like the
I know
whole
exactly what you're
shaking and
talking
bouncing
about.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, why?
I think because they were trying to show the fact that maybe the crowd was so raucous that it was shaking the camera. Because ECW would do that a lot. Their hard cam would shake a lot.
It wasn't even just the hard cam. The roaming cams were doing
I know.
like that fast in and out zoom shit. Like, I'm like, this is unbearable to watch.
Yeah.
This whole match was a rest hold.
It really was.
This whole match was a rest hold.
This match could have been so good, but it's just so boring. Like,
The fans were even leaving.
yeah, fans were leaving during this. This is my -7 of the night.
Yeah.
Honestly, not that tag match, because at least the tag match had some redeeming quality to it after the Gangstanadas left. But dude, this match is just bad. This is a bad fucking match.
I fell asleep and I tried to give it the good schoolboy effort when I woke back up. I was like, all right, let's try this again. It's not a bad. It's just so slow and off pace for this whole fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah.
One of these things are not like the other, and this was that match. And then I ended up falling asleep again on my second watch through, and I said, whatever Dickie says, I'll roll with.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do out of that.
I don't know, man.
This lowered the whole pay-per-view rating for me. This one match.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah, even Brian didn't have very good notes for this one, really. I mean, other than the fact that he just agreed, like, this is a fucking slog. I will say, though, props to Francine, though. Francine did pretty good in this match. Like, she did the whole sympathy thing.
Yeah.
And she did really good manager work during this match. She really did.
Was a face manager, too, which was really
It
off-putting.
was weird
for
to see her as
Yeah.
a face. Weird to see her as a face.
Like, dude, this whole show is a stellar card on paper.
Yeah.
But, like, when you go back and watch it, you're like, maybe something should have been left on paper.
I agree wholeheartedly.
So how do you rate the show?
Solid 2.5 out of 5.
See, you're generous. I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. The low lights for me was that main event, the clusterfuck of the tag. The only thing with the tag match, though, was
the music.
Was the network dub. Mikey Whipwreck and Just Incredible was fine. It wasn't great. Taz, I actually really enjoyed. I loved the opening match. Loved the tables and ladders match. Dreamer and Rob Van Dam was good for what it was. So, yeah, I give it... I think I'm going to give it... Actually, I'll round up. I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
You're giving it a 3?
Yeah.
I'm still sticking with my 2 because there was so much cluster fucking WCW 2000s booking in this, especially with like the whole ref shit. Like they had
made no sense.
They had some good matches that could have ended without any of that shit being needed or involved.
Yeah.
The tag match, the fucking Van Dam match was over fucking booked.
I agree. Yeah, there was a lot of overbooking on this card.
Yeah.
There was I don't think there was one single clean finish. Except for Whipwreck and Credible, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was involvement, and technically franchise. And I go back. I don't know. It was just, I don't know, man. Could have been good. Could have been a lot better than it was.
Credible and Whipwreck, man. Still match of the night for me.
Match of the night was Sabu and Sandman, always. Always.
So, my Dickie Wabash ass call of the night.
Let's go.
Less than a quarter of this match is not wearing a t-shirt. This should be interesting.
When was this?
During the tag team match.
Really? Oh, that is awesome. That is
Think about it.
fucking awesome.
The FBI were the only people not in t-shirts.
They really That is a Dickie Wabash ass call, brother.
I had to play that back 3 times. I'm like, yep, I could see Dickie saying this.
You think I won't?
I know you will.
Now I'm just looking for a reason to be able to say it. Are you kidding me? Who was it? Someone compared me to Joey Styles one time, and I was like, I don't see it.
Prank Tank.
Yeah, he compared me to Joey Styles, and I'm like, you literally just picked commentator A and then compared me. I'm nothing like Joey Styles.
I compare you to a nice young Aaron Iron.
Yeah, Joey Styles doesn't spend most of the main event laughing like I do. All right, guys.
That's it? It's over?
Yeah.
What?
Happy Thanksgiving. You know, this is when this comes out to the public. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you all are having a good time with your family. Play this for the family. I'm sure Grandma would love it. You know, since this is Thanksgiving, you know, we got a lot to be thankful for. We really do. And not to get maudlin in any way, because I think we do that a lot. But don't talk about being thankful. Thank you to the Patreon supporters. Yeah. Thank you to the supporters. Not even just Patreon supporters. Just thank you for
giving us the time of day.
Yeah, thank you to Elite Pro Wrestling. Thank you to Hybrid. Thank you to Envision. Thank you to
IWAU.
IWAU. Thank you to New Version Wrestling.
Signal 10.
Signal 10. Thank you to the MadBash boys.
Yeah.
Very thankful for them. Very thankful for all the friends that we've made in this journey since we've been back in wrestling. And, you know.
Thank you, Biscuits and Gravy.
Yeah, they did. And I owe a lot to Biscuits and Gravy, and so does Dalton Davis. But yeah, we're going to be rolling into Paige Show here. We're going to be doing something a little bit special for Paige Show that I don't know how it's going to be received, but we're going to do it. So what we're going to do, on top of just normal Paige Show shenanigans, we're going to do a little watch along with the episode of ECW Hardcore TV that followed November to Remember 97. So I believe it is the September 7th. No, sorry, not September. December 7th. Maybe. I don't remember the exact date. I'm sorry about that.
This was the 30th, so whenever after that.
Yeah.
The first episode of December.
Yes, the first episode for December is going to be the first one, you know, after this or whatever. We're going to do a little watch along with that. I understand maybe some of you don't want to do a full-blown watch along. I get that completely.
It's going to be the same show. We're just going to be watching it live as we give you our thoughts.
Yeah. And then even before that, we'll do a little bit of the standard Paige Show stuff that you love. Like, because I got a topic that I really want to cover, and it's something that I really, really want to address and talk about that. Just so you know, we know who it is.
We know.
You're never going to be really fully sure if I know, but just rest assured that I know. What am I talking about? Tune into Paige Show.
You'll know.
Tune into Paige Show at patreon.com/MadBash Studios. Back as the $5 and above tier. MadBashStudios.com for everything you need to know about us. Madrox is pretty much non-existent on social media.
That's not true. They can find me at madbashstudios.com.
Hey, there you go. You can find me on Instagram at attaboydickie. I'm trying to use that a little bit more. For those of you that are backing us on the Patreon, we will see you all on Paige Show. Get your Peacock brought up so that we can watch along.